Hello everyone and welcome back to another custom spotlight. So today, we're going to be doing our first ever spotlight themed around a character from a Sonic TV show. The Sonic X fans are going to really enjoy this episode because today we're looking at Cosmo, the seedri, or seedri engine in this case, I guess. So let's have a look. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of who this character is, let me tell you a little story about the third season of Sonic X. Now, to clarify, some of this info is stuff that I've just heard about. I've only watched a little bit of Season 3. And I have to inform you that I am actually not a huge fan of Sonic X. I thought it was an okay show until the human characters started talking, and then I realized the show kind of sucked. So, some of the info I'm going to say here might be incorrect, but if there are any Sonic X fans in my audience, feel free to tell me more about Cosmo and more about where she came from and what she does. Some of this is just stuff that I've heard from reviews of the season. Some of this is stuff I've actually witnessed. So, Sonic X is a Sonic anime where the Sonic characters end up getting stuck on Earth and they have to find their way back home. The first two seasons take place on Earth with a bunch of human characters. The third season takes place in space. After Sonic returns home, he fights this monster called the Metarex. Maybe one day I'll do a custom of this thing, but I'm not sure. After fighting this thing, an alien, her name being Cosmo, crash lands on Earth after her planet died. The Metarex had actually been going around stealing planet eggs, the eggs of their planets, and that caused their planet to die. She was the sole survivor of her the race known as the Seedrians. So she went to Earth to call upon Sonic, the only hero that she knew of that was powerful enough to stop the Metarex. They go on an adventure. The human characters somehow get involved again. And they basically fly all over the galaxy searching for the Metarex while saving other planets. During that time, a very special bond is formed between Cosmo and Tails. Let's just say there is a lot of romantic tension between these two. Obviously, it's a PG show, so they don't show kissing or anything, but it is very heavily implied that these two are a couple. That's why I have Tails just sitting here. And I haven't made it this far yet, but apparently at the end of the season, they fight the Metarex, and Cosmo has to sacrifice herself in order to permanently destroy it. You have Super Sonic and Super Shadow working together to save everybody. Meanwhile, Cosmo is making a sacrifice to save the planet. And Tails has to be the one to kill her, which really hurts him. Afterwards, I think it sort of becomes like a somber moment where Tails just cries at Sonic's feet about the whole thing. It's actually really heartfelt. I've seen clips of that, and it is really heartfelt. I hope I can get to the end of Season 3 someday, but I know for a fact that it's going to be an emotional roller coaster ride to get there. That's really all I know about Cosmo. I would recommend for anyone who wants more info going to watch Sonic X Season 3. But beware, it is very, very slow. So, let's take a look at this model that I've made. So, camera, let me pull back just a little. Whoa. The camera stand is, there we go. That should be better. Okay, so Cosmo here is made from a Trackmaster 2 Victor. Now, I'm sure you're probably asking, why Victor? The answer really goes no further than I just had one laying around that I wasn't ever going to use in a video. So I thought, why not just repaint it into a character? And not to mention, I thought this general shape looked pretty good for a Cosmo. So I cut off his front buffer beam. So I cut off Victor's front buffer beam and replaced it with a spare Thomas's front buffer beam. You can sort of see that the white of the footplate is actually blue tack. You can sort of see it right there. You can really see it on the bottom. I thought that you looked better with actual buffers rather than Victor's like really tiny buffer beam. So yeah, I basically just cut off the original buffer beam and the little extended smoke box that he has. Cut them down to size, glued on the new buffer beam, like blue tacked on the new buffer beam, and gave her a big open smile. Cosmo was a very interesting one to do because since she only exists in the Sonic X anime and doesn't actually have an official game render, I had to basically go off the 3D renders that I've seen online for her, which are fan renders, when it came to making her face. So she may just look like generic happy character, but that's purely just because I couldn't think of any. I couldn't figure out how to design her face in a way that made her more expressive. I'll probably have another look at her to see if I can identify something that would make her look a little bit better. I painted this straight running board. The running board on Victor is supposed to like dip down here and go underneath the ladder. But I thought that since I'm making this engine into a standard gauge engine, I should just make it a straight running board like all the others, with the typical painted white buffers on the back. I have gold line. She has gold/yellow lining, and the number 05, in reference to the fact that the Sonic X anime Season 3 kickstarted in 2005, the same year that Shadow the Hedgehog got his own spin-off game. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention it, but the reason why Shadow is here is because I haven't gotten this far yet, but apparently there's a lot of tension between Cream and Shadow and Cosmo. I haven't fully gotten into it yet, but apparently Shadow tried to kill her at one point. I don't remember exactly why, nor have I gotten that far yet. But I can tell you one thing that began in that episode. That's when the trend of Shadow abusing Tails began. For anyone who knows, it seems like Shadow has a personal vendetta against Tails for some reason. Like, Shadow always hits Tails first. Like in the Sonic 3 movie trailer, everyone freaked out when Shadow kicked Tails. He punts him in the Sonic Boom series. In Sonic X, they fight when Shadow tries to kill Cosmo. It just seems like these two are always at odds with each other. And it all really started with Cosmo. So, anyway, obviously the original Victor model was painted red. I repainted it in this very nice minty green. The lining on her tanks here is white, giving it this two-tone look, yellow and white. And I repainted her wheels in this light green with white outlines. I think they look really nice. Probably some of the cleanest wheels that I've ever done. If you look underneath, though, you can tell that these wheels used to be Thomas wheels because they're blue. I also painted her little dome and whistle thing. I don't exactly know what that is. I painted those red to signify the red flowers that Cosmo has in her hair or on her head. She is a seedrian, so she is a plant girl. She's literally made of plants. Like, her dress is literally a flower with petals. And when she has to die, she blooms. Like, her dress, like, puffs out and it becomes, like, a bloomed flower. She's actually a very interesting character. And if you notice, I'm actually just noticing this now. I think the running board is a little bit not straight. I'm just trying to adjust it as much as possible because this blue tack, it holds in, but it doesn't like hold it perfectly still where I need it to be. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, that's basically it. Cosmo isn't the most in-depth character I've ever made. I just think she's an interesting one from Sonic X. And, hashtag save Cosmo. We need more Cosmo in this world. We need more characters like her. I think most Sonic fans will tell you that she deserves to appear again someday. I would absolutely love to see Cosmo again. And who knows? Because apparently she is going to be in Sonic Blitz, the new card game that's coming out whenever. I'll probably play it just to see her again, because so many characters are reappearing in that. Some of which we may talk about in future. So, yeah. Cosmo is an interesting one because I don't really know what to say because I haven't fully watched Sonic X Season 3. She's just a character I really wanted to make. And I'm happy I did. I respect Cosmo. I really like her. As for where we go in the next spotlight, I'm actually not sure. Next Sonic character, I'm going to reserve for a very specific one that should have gotten his spotlight a long time ago. And that'll mostly round up the main cast members that I've not done yet. That'll probably be released sometime late November to early December. And I'll tie her in with another character who I've had completed for a little while now. But until then, I think maybe next week we could tackle some odds and ends. Like, just a few models that are either really tiny customs or updates to customs that I've made before, or ones who aren't big enough for their own individual videos. You know, basically just like a speed round of a bunch of the mini customs that I've made. Just to sort of end off the second batch, because I've sort of been looking at this series that I've been doing in batches, where basically what I've been doing with them is like batch 1 is everything from the first custom to Duck and Oliver. Batch 2 is everything from Jacob Mark II up to now / the next custom spotlight. And then batch 3 will be probably November, December. Will probably be like late November, early December kickstart. Or I'll just throw in the last Sonic the Steam Engine one that I'll be doing at the moment in as a minor one. But I don't know. We'll see. I have a lot of really small customs that I would probably want to just do in a big speedrun video, so yeah, expect that pretty soon. With all that out of the way, I guess we're done for today. We need more people like Cosmo in today's world. So, go watch Sonic X Season 3. It's actually really sweet. And before you say, well, shouldn't I watch Seasons 1 and 2? No, you shouldn't. Honestly, just watch Season 3. I don't care. Seasons 1 and 2, not worth your time. Season 3, possibly. Watch it, just don't pay any attention to the fact that it's Season 3. Pretend it's a standalone season. And you'll be much happier. So, yeah. I guess with all that out of the way, see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.